truly a St. Louis Thanksgiving dinner, because everything that happens comes from people in St. Louis. Turkeys get donated from parishioners here, from other people throughout St. Louis. There's St. Louis hospitals that will cook it. St. Louis University comes in, they carve the turkeys, and volunteers from all over the city of St. Louis come here to serve the meal. I remember this one man was talking, it was, not only am I eating now, I'm getting leftovers to go home. People talk about having that leftover meal after their family dinner. So I get to have that this year.
How it gets here, it comes from various people, contributions, people donations. We've also hooked up with Food Bank, and that provides us a great opportunity to go about and picking up from stores here in the area, like Save a Lot, from Fields Foods, where they make donations on a weekly basis that we're able to put through our pantry and through our kitchen, as well as parishes throughout the Archdiocese of St. Louis, and then people making private donations. We also have donations that come in from a food bank into a food pantry through St. Catherine's, through Ascension Parish, a number of St. Gerard Magella, and they all contribute to our mission, and that's getting food to people and meeting their needs.
I've only missed one out of 22 years, and they usually have them like quarterly. But I meet so many nice people that I've never seen before, and everybody's so friendly and everything. And the volunteers are to die for. I've always had a connection ever since I first started going over there, because I met those ladies of charity. They used to come over then, and we would play bingo, even then. And I got to know them, and it's like one big happy family.
The families are very grateful. I think if you know anything about people who are monetarily poor, they don't have a lot of choices. And I think the way that we set the program up, the idea that they can go in and actually shop in a grocery store, and they can actually get chicken noodle soup instead of vegetable because their family doesn't eat vegetable. They can actually pick out the kind of snacks that they want, whether they want chocolate cookies or candy canes. They can actually have those choices that if they go to a food pantry, they don't always get, So I think that really makes a difference. And at the end, when people check out, there's lots of people you may never see that person again, but they always want to give you a hug, or they want to say thank you. And I think that personally affects me as I watch that as they leave. I've known some families who have been in the program where this is the only thing they have for Christmas. There's one family that has gone through that I know personally. They've had a lot of tragedy in their life. They've lost a daughter to, they have a son that's paralyzed. He's been shot, and they have a daughter who was shot too, was killed by a drive-by. And this particular woman comes through every year, and she's always grateful for the food that she gets. And her statement always is, we never know how much time we have, and this will make our Christmas better because we were able to come down here.
And when groups come in, I always tell them, I think there was one this past Christmas program, and we had sponsored some families from Live for Life Academy. There's students there and from grade school through high school. And they came over, and his name was Jamal. And Jamal came in a suit and tie, to come shopping for gifts and food. And he comes up to me and he gives me a big hug. And it was just like, man, what's going on? And he looks at me and goes, this is the greatest day of my life. I was just like, Jamal, what are you talking about? And he goes, I've never been to a grocery store. Here's a sophomore in high school. Never been to a grocery store. I mean, that one really hit home. And to see that and be a part of that, just to uplift him for a little bit. And he was the happiest kid on the face of the earth that day.
I see all around me downtown homelessness, and I direct them here if they need something to eat. Because one thing about it in this town, if you're homeless, you can always find food and probably 2 shelter, which is a great thing. When I go to St. Vincent de Paul, all is called to help the poor, because what's in store is love and hope. And many build a rope around their necks, giving them the feeling of rejects, and shouts of wonder like lightning and thunder, because time shall tell when the bells ring to sing out hope, which is on its way. You will see Father Dan smile and say, "Come on in, folks. Take a seat. It's time to eat and rest your feet a little while." And that's in style, because I say the rich can be rich but have less, the poor should have more, and don't forget the middle class rest.